Yeah. Anyway, really good evening, everybody's. So today is, I think, now we have one more class, right? One more lesson. Then we're going to finish the Heart Sutra. So the Heart Sutra is looks very simple, and also it condenses many meanings. When you look the text is very short version. When you go into the meaning, it is very deep. It condenses all the meaning of the Buddha teaching, include the Tantrayana teaching. So in order to explain the complete the meaning of Heart Sutra, then we really need to know. Also, the people who wants to explain the complete meaning of Heart Sutra, the person must explain all the Buddha meaning of all the Buddha teaching, include the Tantrayana. Also, if you really wants to know the complete meaning of Heart Sutra, then you must know all the meaning of Buddha teachings. There's a space, empty space. So most importantly, I think everybody so most of you attend my class in Gelang. Since we moved here, also most of you attend my classes. I always request all of you, so whatever you learn from me, whatever teaching you learn from the books, please everybody must practice. If you don't apply the meaning, if you don't practice the Dharma, then it's really wasting your time, wasting your energy. Also because you are so busy, your day-to-day life, you are always busy to do so many things. Also you are wasting your time. So that's why everybody try to practice as much as you can. The Heart Sutra also very important teaching. Every day, if you recite the Heart Sutra based on based on understanding the meaning, then you can get really good understanding of Dharma, as well as you're going to accumulate a lot of merits. And also the Heart Sutra is a part of the Mahayana teaching. The person who practices the Heart Sutra, the person who wants to learn the Heart Sutra, you always remember to practice great compassion, love, bodhicitta, 6 pranjana paramita. Also always care all sentient beings as your dear one. If you have a really sense of anger with someone, that means you are not really practicing the Heart Sutra, you are not practicing the Mahayana teaching. As a Mahayana practitioner, as a Mahayana follower, you should not have any sense of angry, sense of bad thoughts towards anybody. You must have a compassion equally all sentient beings. Look at nowadays there are more than 7 billion human beings. We don't know how many sentient beings. If you have a really pure love and compassion towards all sentient beings, even though just one moment you have this kind of wonderful thoughts, is really great. Within the 7 billion human beings, how many people thinking, caring all sentient beings, sharing with all sentient beings? There's a very few people, thinking about this way. That's why it's so important to think every day, practice every day great compassion. Okay, so I will shortly reviews the Heart Sutra. So we're going to have only one class next time. That's why I must finish within 2 classes. Okay, now everybody just. Okay, so totally we have another 2 classes. I hope I can finish. Okay, so the Heart Sutra we can divide into 4 parts. Part number 1, name of the Heart Sutra. Part 2 is the prostration to complete the translation. Then number 3, the teaching of the Heart Sutra. The number 4 is the dedication or rejoicing. So at the beginning, the perfections of wisdom sutra, Arya, Bhagavati, Pranjana, Paramita, Hridaya, Sutra. This is the name of the sutra. Then, in this text, I don't think we have the prostration, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. This is the prostration to the Triple Gem to complete the translation. This is actually written by the translator who translated the Heart Sutra. Then, thus did I heard all the way to the Bhagavan. Then Bhagavan arose from the concentration until the man teaching. Then rest of is the rejoicing or spoke by Buddha. And the man body we can divide into 3, question and answers. Answers, there are 3 types of answers. One, the short answer. The second answer is answer for the slow learner. The third answer is answer for the faster learner or who are quite advanced. This means there are 3 types of answered by Avalokiteshvara. Then, at the beginning there's the background of the Heart Sutra, then question, answers. Answer divided into 3, right? Then thus did I heard. From there, all the way to 5 aggregates, also as empty of intrinsic nature. This is the background of the Heart Sutra, right? And the background, there are 2 categories. One, very common, the history or background of Heart Sutra. One is uncommon. The common go from the Bhagavan's all the way to a great community of the Bodhisattva. This is the common background of a sutra. Then the Bhagavan was absorbed in the concentration. They all the way to the empty five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. This is the uncommon background. Then through the power of Bodhisattva, power of Buddha, whenever Shariputra said this to Mahasattva Araya Avalodishwara, this is the question by Shariputra. Then the answer start. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or the daughter of the lineage who wish to practice the activity. This is, the question start from there. Then all the way to five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. This is a short answer. Clear? Short answer. Then form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. From there all the way to the Bhagavan arose. Until there is the answer. There's another two answers. Answer for the slow learner. Answer for the faster learner. The faster learner, the answer start from therefore the mantra of perfect wisdom all the way to Teyata Gade Gade Pragade Prasamgade Buddhi Soha and Shariputra all the way to the until the Bhagavan arose. This is the answer for the faster learner. This means there are three types of answers. One is the short answer for both of them. Second, particularly first answer for the slow learner. The second answer is answer for the faster, the learner or advanced students. Right? So this Sutra totally the contents include into 108. 108. So first 53 are the negative side or samsaric side, unwholesome side. 53. Then the next, the 55 are the positive side or nirvana side or wholesome side. That means totally there are 108 contents. That means all the Prajna Paramita teaching actually explained about the 108. Okay, then I ask you, do some homework. So everybody knows very well about the 53 and 56. 55. I'm still not sure everybody's catch up or not. So I already told the numbers. Okay, so everybody must learn 55. Usually we call, the contents of the Prajna Paramita teaching. All Prajna teaching always explain about the 108 numbers of the contents. Okay, so now we should go a little bit about the 55. If you count all the numbers, then there are more than 55, right? Even though 6 Paranjana Paramita, 18 emptiness, then 37 limbs of the enlightened man. This one, there only in the 3 there are some more than 55. Okay, so next class I will give you exact how everything we can put into 55. At the beginning, 6 paramita, right? The 6 paramita is very important. Look at all the Kadampa master says. Bodhicitta, great compassions, renunciations, emptiness are the practice of Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattva must practice great compassion, bodhicitta, emptiness. This main practice. In order to, go further more, then the Bodhisattva must practice the 6 Prajna Paramitas. So this means the renunciation, bodhicitta, emptiness, great compassion are the main practice. In order to complete the practice, then they must practice 6 paramita. Then next, they're going to achieve bodhicitta. So within the 6 paramita, the wisdom paramita is so important. Because all the Bodhisattva's practices include into 2. Practice of wisdom, practice of methods. All practices include into 2. Within the 6 paramitas, a practice of the wisdom paramita is most important. The wisdom paramita is look like eyes. When you have a eyes or eye, then you can see the reality. You can see the things. If you don't have a eyes, you can feel it. You can hear, but you're not going to understand the reality of the thing. So the wisdom, paramita is look like eyes. So in order to practice the wisdom of knowing emptiness, then the emptiness divide into how many? 18. 18 emptiness or 4 emptiness. So how is come? Why emptiness divide into 18? Why? That's why as an ordinary being, we have a attachment towards external object. Why we have an attachment towards external object? Then we assume the external object exists from the object side. Then we hold the external object exists inherently, independently. So in order to reduce the external, attachment towards external object, then we must know the reality of external object. That's why emptiness of the external phenomena, right? 18 emptiness. 18 emptiness. Then 18 emptiness. The emptiness actually link with the cessation within the Four Noble Truths, right? Also, I ask you one homework, the 16 characteristic of Four Noble Truths. So, the first truth of suffering, has a 4 characteristics, 4 attributes. First is impermanent. Second is suffering. Third is selflessness. Fourth is emptiness. So, emptiness linked with the truth of suffering as well as the cessation. So, due to the, we have 18 different ignorance about the phenomena, external phenomena, inner phenomena, permanent phenomena, whatever. We have 18 different types of ignorance. In order to eliminate, in order to know the 18 types of, emptiness, that's why Buddha talk about 18 emptiness. Then it is not just enough to know, to realize the 18 emptiness. That's why we must practice every day. So in order to practice the 18 emptiness, in order to practice bodhicitta, whatever, then we need, mindfulness. That's why after 18 emptiness, then you talk about 37 limbs of the enlightened man. 37. Within the 37, there are 4 mindfulness, right? 4 mindfulness. Mindfulness of body, mindfulness of feeling, emotion, feeling. Mindfulness of body, feeling, mind, mental, and last one, phenomena. Very important, okay? Mindfulness of body. Body talking about our physical body. So, if you really mindful about your physical body, what are you going to understand? You're going to understand the nature of the body. Thus you're going to understand the truth of suffering. Our body, the nature is suffering. Our body is the basis of all the sufferings. How many sufferings are there? 3 types of suffering. What are they? Suffering of changing, pervasive suffering. That means the pervasive suffering of changing is basis on the dukkha. Suffering, the changing of suffering is based on the pervasive suffering. Pervasive. Why it named pervasive? This physical body is a pervasive because of khyaba. All sentient beings have the physical body, gross or subtle. Due to the physical body, then there's a suffering of changing of suffering and suffering of suffering. This means that the pervasive suffering is the basis of the 2 sufferings. Then look at. Then second, you talk about mindfulness on feeling. Then I explain you, when you meditate on the 4 mindfulness, then you're going to understand the 4 Noble Truths. So the 4 mindfulness include into 37 limbs of enlightenment, right? Then the next one, another 4 sets. 4, okay, genuine restraints, right? So then look at, yes, my physical body, the nature is totally suffering. So when you think about the physical body, is totally, the nature is totally suffering. This is the basic of all the sufferings. That's why look at, we need a house. If we have only mind, we don't need a house. If we have only mind, we don't need food, clothes. Everything we have. As an ordinary person, whatever we have, everything for what? The body, physical body. For the physical body. That's why there's mindfulness, right? For mindfulness. That's why the physical body is the basis of suffering. Then, when you think about, yes, I have so many sufferings, I have so many problems, all the suffering, all the problems are based on the dukkha, this body. Even though we are human being, we have a much better physical body than other sentient beings. But still we have lot of suffering. Now next question, where the sufferings are come from? Basis on this body. Where the body is come from, how I own this body. Then we need to think about the origin of the suffering. Origin of suffering. Then finally you're going to understand all the sufferings and problems are rooted by ignorance. That's why in order to eliminate the root of the suffering, then you must practice emptiness. Then here look at, in the Heart Sutra, at the beginning, 5 aggregates are empty. Right answer. The second, he answered more precisely. Then form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Form is not other than the emptiness. Emptiness true, right? Not other than the emptiness. This means is talk about for emptiness of the based on the physical body or truth of suffering or form. When you understand based on you don't need to think about other people body and form. You just think about yourself. My body is emptiness. The emptiness of my body, my body is emptiness. Emptiness is my body. My body is not other than the emptiness. Emptiness true is not other than my body. Right? Then I explained you in the last class, I think Tuesday. No, not Tuesday. Last Wednesday, Thursday, right? Thursday. Within the 5 aggregates, right? Form is the most important. The rest of are, like feeling, discrimination, composition factor, consciousness. Most of them, like a consciousness, like a mind, all of them depend on the physical body. Once you know the physical body is totally, the nature is totally emptiness, therefore you very easy to know, rest of them is also empty. Empty is not talking about total nothingness. Empty of inherent existence. Empty of independent. Empty of, the solid. That's why, the 18 emptiness is related to the emptiness form. Then, so next, within the 37 for mindfulness, then for genuine restraint. This means the suffering, the dukkha, produce or arise based on ignorance and karma. Now you must think, in order to reduce all the suffering, I must reduce the causes and condition of the suffering. What are they? Negative karma or positive karma or ignorance. You should not think the positive karma can produce, really ultimate happiness. So, as a human being, the human life, the body is produced from negative karma or positive karma? Positive karma. The positive karma still can produce the suffering. Then you really need to, reduce or eliminate the negative karma. That's why you talk about the 4 genuine restraints. Avoid the, generating any negative states that have no arise. That means, so some negative karma going to arise tomorrow. So you must restrain. Then second, look at to abandon negative state that have arisen. If some negative karma already arise, 1 minute or 2 minutes before, 1 hour before, you must avoid. You must minimize. Then, even though if you compare the positive and negative karma, the positive karma is bit better than the negative karma. That's why, as an ordinary being, so you must look at to generate the virtue state that have not arise. That means the virtue is not just talking about karma, the positive thoughts, which is not had arisen, you try to arise. Not to allow any virtue state that have arisen to distrust and to develop them further. That means, look at some positive thought we already have. We have a compassion, we have a love, compassion, kindness. These things we must develop further. Then next one, 4 bases of the miraculous power. That means, number 1, intention. Intention has 2 types. Generally, one is positive intention, one is negative intention. If you think, like on the next, today's Friday, what day today is? I'm confused. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, Saturday, Sunday is a weekend. Somebody think, okay, Sunday I have a holiday. I must go for, I'm going for a drink. I'm going for a, drink alcohol. You have attention. It's a negative. Then you have a positive attention. Here is talking about mainly the negative, positive intention. Intention. You always have intention to do good action. Then next one, diligence. Diligence is always a positive. Okay, always positive. Even though somebody say effort can be both positive and negative. Here, diligence mainly the positive. For example, if you put a lot of effort to do practice, to do good thing, is also diligence. If you do a lot of effort to do some bad thing, we can say it is an effort, but not diligence. According to Buddhist etymology, make sure. Then, attention. Attention also, not just, thinking. Always, intention, attention, not just keep remember. Especially the people who took vows, they always have a attention. Always think, I have took a vow, I have a vows, I should not against any my vows, Bodhisattva vows, Tantrayana vows, Sutra, Vinaya vows, whatever. Then, next one, discernment. The discernment, the meaning, actually, within the 5 aggregates, right? Feeling, second is discrimination. Discriminate, like make a judge. Here is a discernment. Based on English language, what does mean discernment? No. Discernment. Okay. So according to Buddhist etymology, the discernment is you are doing analytical meditation. You are analyzing about something. If you analyze about the emptiness, impermanence, the gross level, we should not call still discernment. If you are doing analytical meditation most precisely, more deeper level, then we can call the discernment. That's why, intention, diligence, attention, discernment is, like cause and effect. If you have a intention about the positive action, then you're going to put lot of, positive effort, which is diligence. Once you put lot of effort, you always remember in your mind, I must do continuously. If you think I must do continuously, then you must, differentiate which is positive, which is negative. Then you have to go more deeper level. So next time next class we can talk more about the 55, because when you count all the numbers, there's more than 100 maybe. So somehow all the the numbers we have to put into only 55. The positive size or virtue size. Okay, now we just start the Sutra. The form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. This is the the answer by Avalokiteshvara. We always talk about the two truths, right? Ultimate truth and conventional truth. You should not think the conventional truth is like east, ultimate truth is west. You should not think it's totally two different things. All phenomena, any kinds of phenomena must have the two aspects, two truths, ultimate and conventional truth. For example, anger itself is ultimate truth. The emptiness of the anger, ignoring anger is the conventional truth. The emptiness of the anger is ultimate. For example, this table is ultimate truth. The emptiness of this table is the first is conventional truth, second is the ultimate truth. That means true truth is the one entity, two different oscillation. Okay, oscillation. Make sure one entity mean, because some of you, doing the master course, I hope they know what does mean one entity, different oscillation. This is so important to know the one entity and different oscillation. For example, let's say condition table, impermanent table. There is just one table, but we name condition table, impermanent table, right? Two, you can make a separate in your mental level, right? Your mental level. Why we call impermanent of the table, conditioned table are two different oscillation. We call impermanent because it is oscillate from permanent. Oscillate from permanent, they we call impermanent. We call condition because it is oscillate from unconditioned. Right? That means if you just look at through your eyes, you can see only one thing. The table is not separate than the conditioned table. This table is not separate than the impermanence table. The Heart Sutra mainly try to explain the two truths are just one entity. Due to the conventional truth, so we have we have all the affect emotions. Due to not knowing the ultimate truth, then we are always in samsara. For example, when we have attachment, we always cling, always hold our minds on the object, like beautiful, ugly, nice and good. Those are we call conventional. We Tibetan call kunzop. So if you know the other truth, which is ultimate truth, that means it look like all the affect emotion is short moment. It look like totally going to disappear. That's why the best example give it in the sutra, in the many commentary on the sutra. At the night, so now in Singapore we don't have a really dark, everywhere lights. For example, when you go like in Himalayan region like Ladakh, you have to go from this village to next village. It's totally dark. There's no light. Somehow, during the you walk during the day from this village to next village, there's nothing. When you come back from other village to this village during the night, during the day somebody built, the stone, like it look like human stone. So when you come back from other village, suddenly you can think somebody there, right? And you just keep watching, the thing is not moving. Then you feel so scared. You thought, what is this? This ghost. Then you go more closer. Then you notice this is just stone, pile of stone. Then the sense of scary totally disappear. No more there. Just you do some experiment in your mind. Everybody just imagine your enemy. If somebody, I think everybody has some enemy here and there. Huh? Just imagine your enemy. Generate, angry. Generate anger. Generate anger towards the person. Yes, you suddenly have a anger or dislike. Then you think, whom I am really anger? The body? Are you angry with the body? No. Are you angry with whom? The person. Where is the person? Outside of the body or inside the body? Where is the person? Sorry, somebody's phone is ringing. Okay, look at you. We are not angry with the person body. We are angry with the person. He or she, male and female. Now, where is the person? He's outside of the body or inside the body? Just do some experiment. We just think maybe, the person may be inside. Open the, body. Or you can see heart, lungs. Then suddenly you think, I don't have really, there's no really, I can see something which is I really can get angry. Then you say, yeah, I'm really angry with the person Why? Maybe I don't like, the way of the person speaking. Then the speaking, the language. Somebody say, actually last time we have a class with the Geshe Abdullah, he said, you are bad person. When you heard you didn't hear the bad. When you hear the bad, you already has gone. Then you do, analytical meditation with the speak. If you think this way, there's not really things such a thing you can really get angry, upset, attachment, desire. Right? For example, most of you really like what kind of food? What food most of people like in Singapore? Huh? Chicken? Okay. What the noodle? There's a noodle, right? Laksa. I think most people like laksa. The people who really like the laksa, when they think about laksa, certainly the people have a desire, strong desire, want to eat. Somebody, just offer a laksa, just check which part of laksa I really like, the soup or the noodle or the spicy noodle. You just pick up one noodle, one piece of noodle. You just start to find where I really like it. If you go this, also that attachment, desire going to disappear. Right? This means, totally you must think the two truths is totally one entity. When you feel attachment, anger, desire, must remember the ultimate truth. Ultimate truth, emptiness, selflessness. Then all the negative emotion, going to disappear. That's why form is emptiness, emptiness form. Then next, you must repeat continuously after form, then feeling. How you need to repeat? Feeling is emptiness. Emptiness is feeling. Then feeling is okay. Yeah, for example, feeling is emptiness. Emptiness is feeling. Feeling is not other than the emptiness. Right? Emptiness is also not other than emptiness. Then you have to go all the way to the 5 aggregates. Then next, after 5 aggregates, then talk about what? In the same way, right? In the same way. Same way means you already know the meaning of emptiness on the form, feeling, this thing. Then the same way you have to go, the thought you carry same way. Likewise, all phenomena are empty. Likewise, all phenomena are same form. Then, so until here, okay, Shariputra, until here, talk about emptiness. The emptiness talk about based on how to practice of the practitioner who abide in the accumulation paths and preparation paths. Right? Within the 5 paths, is talk about the first 2 paths. Paths of accumulation, paths of the preparation. The second, Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Until here, is talk about, the practice of the practitioner who abide in the seeing paths. Seeing paths. Because there's a 2 meaning, make sure everybody must get in your mind. When you say all phenomena are empty, this means there's a 2 meaning. One is, naturally, all phenomena are empty of inherent existence. Second meaning is empty. For example, the practitioner who abide in the same path, he or she is totally absorbed, totally mindful on emptiness. That moment, the Bodhisattvas, or in the Bodhisattva, can see only one thing, which is emptiness. Only one object, which is emptiness. Because the person who abide, on the same path, during the meditation, the practitioner can perceive only emptiness, not anything else. Only emptiness, no conventional truth. For example, when you understand the emptiness of the form, at that moment, your mind is totally absorbed. The emptiness of the form, no form, just only emptiness. At that moment, somehow due to the description, due to the explanation, somebody, when they try to understand the emptiness of the form, at that moment, if your mind hold the form, that means you are not really recognize that, the real emptiness. So emptiness, when you totally mindful emptiness, that moment you can absorb only emptiness, not any other phenomena. That's why, the two meaning, one is generally is empty, second, at that moment, there's only emptiness, not any other phenomena. That's all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, without produce, also unproduced, unceased. It is same at the same meaning, which is I think here. Independent origination, there's no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going. Generally we think, when we say no coming, no going, first, even the ordinary person think it doesn't make sense, because we are going, we are coming. Right? We think we are going, we are coming. If you really think more precisely, who is going? For example, there's a 1 minute. 1 minute had how many seconds? 60 seconds. 1 minute has a 60 seconds. 1 second has a how many milliminute? Minute divided into how many milliminute? If you think this way, for example, let's say, someone, one person stand up on this case, stand up. So the person jump here, just go here. Then we can say the person came here. What we say? The person came here, right? Actually, when he moved, tried to move, when he moved, this person already has gone. The person who reached here, he or she not really come from here. He's totally new here. Total new. Right? He's total new. That's why, in generally, we think, someone is coming, someone is going, something is coming, something is going. In the gross level, yes, we can see. We can say in the precise level, we cannot say. Nothing is going, nothing is coming. And also, nothing is coming ultimately, nothing is going ultimately. In the conventional level, if you think in precisely, so difficult to say, someone is going there, someone is come here. We cannot, so difficult to say. That's why, according to the Greek philosopher, I said I want a few times, you cannot step twice in one running water. The water is running, right? Very fast. When you put 1 foot in the water, second time, you are not really step twice before water has gone. The second, there's a new water. You cannot step twice in one stream water. You talk about, impermanence. You talk about changing momentarily. That's why, unproduced. Why he mentioned very particularly, unproduced. Everybody wish to be Buddha, right? You have a strong desire or strong wishing to achieve Buddhahood. Even though you think the Buddhahood exists independently, inherently. That's why I say, the cause, the result, the achievement also not really exists independently. It's not really produced independently. This also, empty of inherent natures. That's why I thought, unproduced, the achievement which you going to achieve is produced from many causes and conditions, but not produced inherently, not produced independently. Then the cessation also is not cease, independently, no cease inherently. That's why unproduced, uncease. Stainless, not without stain. That means the stain which is we going to eliminate is not exist independently. Also, after you eliminate the stain, then we are going to achieve cessation. This also not exist independently. This 8 mostly talk about the seeing paths. And then all the 8 we must include into 3, right? 3 doorways of liberation. Emptiness of the phenomena, emptiness of the cause, emptiness of the effect. That means emptiness of the result, emptiness of the cause, emptiness of the phenomena itself. Right? For example, when we see like a tree, the tree is we can call phenomena. The tree is emptiness. The cause of the tree is also emptiness. The result, the effect of tree also emptiness. You talk about 3 emptiness. That means all phenomena, has a 3 types of emptiness. That means all the 8 characteristics we must put into 3 emptiness. All phenomena are emptiness. You talk about emptiness of the phenomena. Then without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, is talk about the emptiness of the cause. No deficient, no fulfill is talk about emptiness of the result. Then next, Sharibuddhara, therefore in emptiness, right? In emptiness, there's no form. In emptiness, there's no form. There's again 2 meaning. Again 2 meaning. One, the emptiness itself never be form. Form itself never be emptiness. Because form and emptiness are 2 contradiction phenomena. Because form is impermanent. Emptiness of the form is permanent. Form is not emptiness actually. Form is not emptiness because form is impermanent. Emptiness is not form because emptiness is permanent. Then why say form is emptiness? Because the nature of the form is totally empty. We are not saying directly form is emptiness is form. Right? This means in emptiness there's no form. One reason. Second, the person who totally absorbed, totally mindful on the emptiness, within that kind of state, there is no form. For example, when you eat the brown chocolate. Chocolate, huh? When you put the chocolate in your mouth, when you really try to feel the taste, you can feel the sweetness. Right? That moment, you don't feel, you cannot see the shape and color. That moment, you can feel only the sweetness. Suddenly, you think, change your mind. If you think the color, when you think the color, that moment, you not really feel the sweetness. It doesn't mean the color doesn't have a color and taste. Its taste is there, color is there. At that moment, when you feel the sweetness, that moment, you cannot feel the shape. Right? For example, the chocolate shake, the round. You put in the mouth, there's a shape. When you really feel the taste, you cannot feel the shape. Right? This means, generally, emptiness is shape, no form. That means, there's a, so next one. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness, there's no form. Second, when you meditate on emptiness, that moment there's no form. Then no feeling, no discrimination, no composition factor, no consciousness. They talk about, the six consciousness. Then no eyes, no air is talk about the six organs. Then no visual, no sound is talk about the six object of the six consciousness. Then there's no eye elements. He's talk about six elements. Six elements, actually it's exactly the same, eyes element, nose element, air element, tongue elements. We have to say this all the way to the mind elements. Then so, right, no eyes element, and so up to, and including no mind elements, and no mental consciousness elements. Then 12 links interdependence. Attachment or there's no similar, there's no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. He talk about the 12 link interdependence as well as the Four Noble Truths. That's me almost complete, until here, the 53, right? 53 of the samsaric side or non-virtue side. The most of them, is the basis of the suffering, basis of the afflictive emotions. Then there's no excellent wisdom. He's also talk about all the way here, the practitioner how to practice emptiness during the meditation state, meditation path. Then next one from here, okay, I think excellent, because I also have a non-attainment, also no non-attainment. Until here, it talk about how emptiness, how the practitioner, the four paths of meditation, the practitioner who abide in the four paths, meditation paths, is talk about how they meditate on emptiness. The next one, Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment all the way to reach in the point of nirvana, then he's talk about, no more learning paths. So, then, they reach the end of the point of the nirvana. This is answer for the slow learner. Clear? The next one, all the Buddhist sadhavas doing the 3 times, therefore meant, just still go next one. All the Buddhist sadhavas who do in the profession of wisdom. So next one, therefore, the mantra of perfection of wisdom mantra of great knowledge, the unsurprised mantra, the mantra equal to unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as the truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the precious wisdom is, declare Tyata Om Gade Gade Paragade Prasam Gade Buddhi Soha, then all the way to Bodhisattva eros. This is the answer for the faster learner, or the answer for the advanced disciples. Then again, therefore the mantra of perfect wisdom, it talk about accumulation paths. The mantra of great knowledge, preparation paths. The unsurpassed mantra, seeing paths. The mantra equal to unequal, meditation path. The mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering is talk about the no more learning paths. Then again, Tyata Om Gade Gade Paragade Prasam Gade Buddhi Soha is same 5 paths. And there's a 2 different translation of the Heart Sutra. Some Heart Sutra say only Tyata Gade Gade Paragade Prasam Gade Buddhi Soha. Some Sutra use Om. And Nagarjuna, there's a commentary on Heart Sutra by Nagarjuna. In the Sutra it says Tyata Om Gade Gade Pragade Prasam Gade Buddhi Soha. You can use Om, or you even though if you omit Om, maybe I'm not going to say okay or not. But Nagarjuna said very clearly, we must use Om. We must recite Om. Tyata Om. Because Tyata, right, is not really talking about the 5 paths. Tyata is talking about the emptiness. Emptiness. Tyata means like, this is like that. Tyata. Tyata. Then Om, there's a 2 meaning. One, Om symbol of body, speech and mind. The last, and also Om is the head of the mantra. Soha is the end of the mantra. This means, look at Tyata. It means exactly, thus I have heard, right? Thus did I heard at one time. Thus Tyata is the same meaning. Right? This means if you know the emptiness, if you know the emptiness of your body, speech and mind, if you know the emptiness of the all phenomena, include your body, speech and mind, include or your 5 aggregates, then Gade, then you are going to reach to the the accumulation paths. Then Gade, second Gade, preparation. Tyata Gade Gade Pragade, seeing paths. Prasangade, meditation paths. Buddhi is the no more learning paths. Soha is the end of the mantra. So then I think almost we finish almost the Heart Sutra. Okay, next class we must going to emphasize about the 55 of the virtue side. 55. So we have a little time. Now we should go a little bit with the mindfulness for correct. 16? Oh yeah. How many of you done your homework? The 16. Everybody, right? Okay. What are the 4 characteristics of the suffering, truth of suffering? Okay, before you said why we have to know the 16. So we we are included where? We are included into the desire realms. Desire realms. There are two sets of 16 characteristics of the Four Noble Truths. One, that Four Noble Truths, or 16 characteristics of Four Noble Truths based on desire realms. 116. Then second, form and formless realm, they put together. This means there's two different sets of 16 characteristics of Four Noble Truths. As a desire realm beings, we understand truth of suffering the suffering in the desire realms. We understand the origin of the suffering of the desire realms. Then we understand how we can reduce the suffering in the desire realms. We are going to understand how to cease the suffering in the desire realms, because we experience, we know. But we really feel, if we born in the form and formless realms, we will be very happy. We think I will be very happy. Right? Even though you try to understand, you cannot, because we don't have an experience about the form and formless realms. We don't experience now. We cannot experience. We cannot understand now. That's why desire, we have a desire about desire realms, then we can have a desire about the form and formless realms. Right? Then same attachment, anger. There's two different levels. One is a level based on the desire, one is a level of based on the form and formless realms. So we have to know the 16 characteristics of the Four Noble Truths. Then the practitioner who meditate on the suffering, truth of suffering, they can focus on the suffering of desire realms. Then they switch their mind, switch onto the form and formless realms. Then meditate on origin of suffering again. First focus on the desire realm, then switch onto the form and formless realms. That's why we have to know the two sets of 16 characteristics of Four Noble Truths. That's why when we talk about the seeing paths, it talk about the 8 characteristic, right? Can you tell me what are the 8 at the seeing paths? All phenomena are empty. Okay, now I use as a monastery. Okay, number 1, all phenomena are empty. Then second, without characteristic, singimeba. Then unborn. Then ansis maheba mangaba. Yeah, timameba. Timadawa. Then timadakawa meba, timadodiwa meba. Kawa meba. Totally 8. Totally 8. Just now we divide 8 into 3. Now the 8, they associate with the seeing paths. Then it associate with the desire realm and one side. We put desire realm one side. The form and formless realm we put one side. That means the 8 we can divide into the desire and desire realms. So that's why we have to learn the 16. Okay, now everybody tell what are the characteristics of the truth of suffering. Okay. Number 1, impermanence. Number 2, suffering. Number 3, selflessness. Number 4, emptiness. Now, we should not say just, impermanence. We must say impermanence of the truth of suffering. Suffering of the truth of suffering. Selflessness of the truth of suffering. Emptiness of the truth of suffering. Because we talk about the characteristic of the truth of suffering. We must say like this. The second, what are the 4 characteristics of the truth origin of suffering? Cause. Wait. Or cause, condition. Okay, this one problem. If your mobile and your iPad not with you, then you yeah, okay, no problem, okay, cause, condition, origination, arising. But in Tibetan language we say, you, they just cause, you, kunjung. We just say, condition. In Tibetan, look at you, for example, ignorance, attachment, desire, those are the cause of the suffering. You. Second is not just cause. It cause for all the suffering. It produces all the suffering. This is kunjung. You mean cause. Kunjung mean all, produce all of them. Produce everything. This means produce all the suffering. Okay, kunjung. You kunjung. You kunjung. Third we call hyen. Hyen. Here what is it? Yeah, very, very close, origination, right? You, origination. Then you kunjung hyen, we said, for example, ignorance, attachment, desire, those are the, we can say origin. Origin of what? All the suffering. You kunjung hyen. That fourth, and intensive, right? Intense arising. What does mean? What does meaning? Strongly. You kunjung hyen. Yeah. Is produced, really, continuously, always strongly. Those are the, 4 characteristics of the origin of suffering. Then next, what are the 4 characteristics of the path to cessation? Number 1, path. Number 2, appropriate. Okay, appropriate lam rigpa. Number 3, lam rigpa. No, in English. Effective. Number 4, in Tibetan language we say first, path. For example, great compassion, bodhicitta are the path. Second, we call rigpa. Rigpa means actually the wisdom of emptiness can see the emptiness. The great compassion, bodhicitta can focus, to the sentient beings. Lam rigpa. Third is lam rigpa tupa. Tupa means if you practice the path, then you're going to achieve your goal. Lam rigpa tupa. The last is definitely achieve. Actually, in Tibetan language we say lam rigpa tupa ngenjin. Definite, achieve. Next, what are the 4 characteristics of the cessation? Cessation, peace, perfection, definite delivery. Right? This is nice, right? What means cessation? That means, the cessation, cease all the negative emotions, cease all the suffering, cessation, Gopa, peace. When you reach this kind of, achievement, you are totally peace. The third, Gopa, Jiva, Kyanam, perfection is, one of the beautiful things, very, very desirable. The fourth is definite liberty. We Tibetan call, Gopa, like cessation, Jiva, peace, Kyanam is perfection, right? Kyanam and Ngenjin. This means you are totally, emerged from, totally overcome from suffering, totally overcome from the afflicted emotions. Now, these 16 you need to associate with the desire realms, associate with the form and formless realms. Look at now, 4 noble truth. 4 noble the truth of truth of suffering of the desire realms. Origin of the suffering of the desire realms. Path to cessation of the desire realms. The cessation of the desire realms. Clear? The second, we never say, formless and form and formless. We say, upper realms, lower realms, upper realms. Or we usually use desire realms and upper realms. Upper realms, there's a 2 put together, upper and desire. Now also you can say, suffering of the upper realms, origin of the suffering of upper realms, cessation to the path of the upper realms, the cessation of the upper realms. That means there are 2 sets of, 4 noble truths. 4 noble truths. So that's why, so far, I haven't seen this kind of thing in the, what we call, because in Tibetan language we have a particular text about mindfulness, particular text about mindfulness. Then this text explains everything very detailedly. Then last time I mentioned very clearly, usually we have 3 types of karma, right? So negative karma, positive karma, then no, not changeable, not, yeah. Look at, so if we have a negative, if we accumulate, if we kill someone, we say negative karma. If you save somebody's life, we can call, the positive karma. Just the positive karma can bring you only the desire realms. It cannot you bring into the higher realms. The karma which is, necessary to bring in the higher realms, you have to accumulate in different way. This we call, we Tibetan in language we call miyo ele. Miyo ele means unchangeable karma. Unchangeable karma. What does mean? For example, due to my negative karma, okay, actually due to my previous negative karma, I am already in the Pardo. For example, in Pardo, the Pardo I have pardo for the lower realms. So that means almost 90% sure, 100% sure I will born in the lower realms. Then due to the different merit, due to the different virtues, after we death, somebody pray for us, somebody dedicate for us. Those karma can change my, the pardo step. I was supposed to born where? In the lower realms. I was supposed to born in the lower realms. Due to those karma, I can change my pardo. I can reborn in the human life. That means the desire realm karma can changeable. That's be changeable. Then, the upper realms, form of realm cannot change. If you supposed to born in the formless realm, you will born there. You cannot change. So the karma for desire realms, the karma for the lower realms is changeable. This we call negative karma, positive karma, unchangeable karma. There's three different types of karma. So that's why the origin of the suffering of the desire realms is still karma. The karma is not just simple karma which is being accumulated through the prostration, making offering, mandala, so and so. We need to achieve the particular mindfulness. That means you must reduce all the desire realms, negative emotions, afflict emotions. That means you look like you don't have any negative, you don't have a afflict emotion of the desire realms. Right? For example, someone always be kind, always be compassionate towards a particular person. That means look like the person doesn't have any anger towards the particular person. It look like. It doesn't mean the person totally eliminate the negative, eliminate the anger towards the particular person. No, still there. It's totally minimized. So in order to accumulate the karma, to born in the higher realms, you must eliminate. So you must minimize all the desire realms, afflict emotions. And then you're able to accumulate the merit or karma to reborn in the higher realms. That's why there are two sets of 2 sets of 4 noble truths. Okay, so we have somebody pass me the homework. So everybody doesn't have to pass, but next time. So when I ask question one by one, so you must tell me, huh? Yeah, okay, because I know everybody is very busy, but you don't have to written down, but you must memorize. Okay? Can you memorize? Can. Why not? You want to be Buddha, right? You want to be Buddha, you must memorize. Okay, so then we will stop here. So I think most of the, Heart Sutra we finish. There's nothing I want to explain. So next class, if you have a question, if you have a doubt based on the Heart Sutra, feel free, you can ask question. You can ask me to explain more in detail. Okay, so thank you so much.